What's up, everybody, and welcome to my AEW Dynamite review. This is the Tuesday night edition, title night Tuesday night titles, or Tuesday night title fight, whatever they're calling it. Well, obviously, tonight they are going head to head with NXT for one night only, folks. If you want to call it the so called war, it was about a year or two ago, the Wednesday night war, but now it's the Tuesday night war. Reason why AEW is even on right now on Tuesday, I believe MLB or NBA, the NBA is taking over that night for tomorrow night. So yes, no AEW for tomorrow night. Now I did watch AEW first, and I probably heard a little about NXT tonight. But when I actually watch NXT, I will come back and review NXT. Given that was a go home show before Halloween Havoc, I just know there's a lot of main roster people on NXT. But I'll save my thoughts for that when I get to the NXT review. But yes, AEW versus NXT for one night only, folks. Tuesday. Who will win the ratings? I have zero clue. Or then again, does anybody care at the same time? But with this one night only thing, a lot of title, basically every title damn near on the line tonight. But we kick it off with the Best Friends versus the Death Triangle. Um, Last week was Cassidy versus Pac for the All Atlantic belt, which I'm not gonna go back into that, but this was for the 6-man tag titles, and whatnot. Basically a spot fest out here. That's all I can really say from this. I figured Death Triangle was gonna get the win. They weren't gonna lose all their titles right here, right now. So I don't really got much to say about it. Death Triangle won, so like I said, you could say it's a spot fest or whatever. But um, you know, the match was what it was out there. I know they had a video package for Hangman Page and John Moxley. Pretty good video package for the world title match later on tonight. Next was Hikaru Shida versus Tony Storm for the AEW Women's or Interim Women's or whatever we're calling this title right now. I just rather them call it the Women's title than this interim thing. It was a good match, I will say that. At least they weren't in the depth spot this week. Not a bad match. I don't really have much to say from it. Tony Storm won. Both of these two are usually really good. It's just I kind of sometimes figure like how many people really do care about Tony Storm as the champion or interim champion right now and whatnot. But right after Britt Baker and crew attacked um, and stuff, Britt Baker was headed to the ring with her Pittsburgh Steelers jersey on. But Saraya, whatever we're calling her, Paige, came out and attacked, just doing some punches, fighting, Baker into the crowd. We don't know if Paige can take bumps yet, but, they're slowly getting to this at the same time. Right after Rio came out and made the save, I didn't really watch much of this. That's when I kind of started just flipping on NXT once I heard who was on the show tonight, and I'm like, oh, this person's on there. Okay, let me go see what's going on. I don't really care for Rio in general. I don't really want to see Rio versus Tony Storm for the title, or just I just don't want to see it. Okay, I don't really got much care for it. So it's one of those things that was kind of skippable right here. I don't even know how much of a pop she really got out there. I don't really think that was a big pop. Also, um, right after that, I know they talked to Swerve and Keith Lee. Well, which they did interrupt FTR's promo because FTR keeps saying they're the number one contenders, but still haven't faced for the titles yet. But Swerve and Our Glory and whatnot, I like their shirts, by the way. Basically, they want to fight for that number one contender spot next week, so we'll see what goes on from there. Um, Jay Lethal was in the back being interviewed about a rematch with Darby Allin. Sanjay Dutt was there. Basically, I guess instead of Jay Lethal going face, they just basically keep him heel and have him and Sanjay beat up Darby and put a figure four and closing his legs into like the garage door. So yeah, no face turn for Jay Lethal. Next, obviously, this is the best promo of the entire night, which there was supposed to be an interview with William Regal with Tony Schiavone. MJF came out as Regal had his brass knuckles on. MJF says, I have to talk and I have a story to tell. And, you need to listen. You owe me. And he talked about basically, him having a WWE tryout match years ago when he was 19. And, talking about, where he was wrestling at, the Creative Pro Wrestling thing with Brian Myers and Pat Buck, how he got work with WWE at the Barclays Center. I think that was when he came out security with MJ, Samoa Joe at the time. But he talked about the tryout matches and stuff. And, in front of Arn Anderson, Adam Pearce, William Regal, and Dean Malenko. After the match, Regal pulled him aside and basically says, you got 3 minutes to sell yourself. And, he was impressed. And he said he can get MJF a job right now, today. But he felt like he achieved his dream. But Regal says, listen, you're 19. you're too young right now. Which, it stopped MJF then, and basically Regal, gave a little hope in it, whatnot. And listen, when you come of age, I can get you a job. But then, he talked about guys from Moxley and Claudio and Danielson, and Regal told him to send a tape to him every month with a match and a promo, and I want to see progress and whatnot. But after the third month, he said Regal crushed his dreams with an email, and daily policies had changed, and they want the best athletes in the world. And he felt like Regal screwed him over, and he wanted to quit wrestling. He wanted to kill himself, and whatnot. But years later, we got one foot in the door, and Regal, you got fired. You want to slip into this company. You want to ride the coattails of people here. You're a nobody, and basically you become nothing and whatnot. And basically told Regal that your former employer, would take several lives just to, get him a pen and paper, get him out the door and stuff. But he said he's going to become world champion now pretty soon. Regal basically said, listen, I left home when I was 16 and worked at a carnival and fought grown men, all right, almost every night just to be a professional wrestler, he said. And 17, he got the place where he was, and basically, hey, it took that email and 7 years to get some fire into you. I lit a fire under your ass and whatnot. But MJF, I told you what to do and practice and everything. And you've been a pretty great heel and all that stuff. But you draw on the line of attacking the announce. Okay, I'm what do you call myself? An ODC, an ordinary ordinary heel and whatnot. When you come through the ropes, it's anything goes. But attacking, the announcers, nah. And basically, you took shortcuts and all that just to get whatever. But Regal said, I'm a little bit more traditional, all right? And basically told MJF, like, you got a lot of money and all this, everything, but you have not impressed me at all. Okay? You have not impressed me one bit. You have not impressed him one bit and whatnot, as he said. And basically, it takes a lot to learn and whatnot to impress me. And MJF was going to punch Regal with the ring, and then Regal turned his back on, like, come on, do it. Let's see if you can do it. And then MJF backed off as Regal says, you still have a lot to learn. So, very great promo segment. Very masterful, especially from both MJF and Regal. So, probably the best thing on the show. Um, Renee Young interviewed Danielson and Wheeler, talking about Jericho and even talking about Garcia. Yuta said, do not trust Garcia, okay? He's using you right now. All right? And basically, we got to do what we got to do for the Blackpool Combat Club. And basically, maybe it was a mistake meeting his hero now. So I'm not saying Danielson's going to turn, but we'll see what happens from there. Next, Dalton Castle went against Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor Championship. Dalton Castle having a big entrance with the boys and whatnot, the Peacock. Listen, I'm glad they showed a video package for Dalton Castle. At least they're trying to show a video package for some of these people who they are. I've said before, it's just Ring of Honor is being shoehorned at this point, or just trying to make it two different shows. And even Jericho, like I said, with Jericho's the ROH champion, at least get people to pay attention. But they are trying to do as much as they can to put ROH on TV without a television deal and get people to care. But at the same time, you have no video packages, and you expect to know who these people are by default. It does not help them. As for the match itself, other than the boys doing those bad punches on Hager, it was a pretty good match for Chris Jericho and Dalton Castle. Okay, figured Jericho was going to win in general and stuff, and up getting the Judas effect after getting out of the Bangarang and stuff. But a very good match with Jericho and Castle. Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society, they all celebrated. Jericho says, I'm going to destroy the legacy of Ring of Honor. I destroyed the champions, the announcers. Now I'm going to get the commentators, which they went for Ian Riccaboni, didn't try to take him out. Jerry Lynn stopped him, but Jericho ended up hitting a pile driver on Jerry Lynn onto the ROH title on the stage then. So, not saying Jerry Lynn's going to come out of retirement, but yeah, he basically got him with the power driver right there then after that. So, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Jericho continues to go after every ROH guy around. What else? I guess Jade basically still looking for her title right now. Basically told Tony Khan she's going to hold the show hostage until she gets her TBS belt back. In the main event, we did get Hangman Page versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. I know they fought before the match. Hangman going after him during Mox's entrance, even biting him onto the stage, even doing a big moonsault off the stage in the crowd onto him. Of course, Moxley has to bleed because he bleeds in every damn match. You know, what can I say about this? This match was good for while it lasted, but it got to the point where what? Mox hit a clothesline on you know, Hangman, and then he just went inside out. And he just, he just landed on the ground and looked like, I don't know if he really got hurt in that. We don't know that. But he landed on the ground and basically he didn't get up. And then the ref stopped it and the doctors did. Now, I don't know if this is a work. I don't know if Hangman's honestly hurt. I knew Hangman wasn't going to win this title in general. We all knew that, especially in Moxley country. And once I saw the ref stoppage, I kind of figured what was going to happen next after that. I don't know if I want to say the last 10 minutes of this show just turned into a damn shoot because everybody started saying shit several times, which they kept trying to bleep out, but it looks like they just gave up on it. I thought they wanted to stop using the word shit. But, you know, they stopped the match, and I don't know. I saw the replay. I don't know if Hangman really did hurt himself. I don't know what he got hurt in that. But I figured this was going to be an angle right here. Given the amount of time they had left, they started going over the card for Rampaging next week. And then Moxley gets on the mic. He hopes Hangman is okay and stuff, but this is a dangerous game. And then he called out MJF. Let's remember, MJF was not even in his little skybox up there. So I figured he was going to come out with his, casino chip. And he looked like he was going to cash it in, but I knew that wasn't really going to happen. They're not going to give away a title match right now with this Money in the Bank type of deal here. He basically told Moxley, no excuses. I don't want you 50%. I want you 110% so I can beat you clean in the middle of the ring. And basically, he will fight him at full gear, okay? That's what he will do. He will wait until full gear to do it. And Moxley basically, I'm going to put my foot in your mouth. Your teeth's going to go to the back of your throat. I'm going to whip your ass. You're just dangerous. You're putting a danger to your own health by facing me at 100%. So, yeah. I don't know. I felt the last 10 minutes of the show. Did it feel like a shoot in a way, like anything was going on? Possibly. Did I think it was an angle just to set MJF to come out here and challenge Moxley for the title? Yeah, I kind of did. Like I said, I guess if they just try to protect Hangman right here, I didn't really see the point and whatnot of doing this whole thing. They could have went by DQ finish, but after they did this whole I'm a man promo last week, which I don't think really went that over that well, to be honest with the punching himself in the face, showed some fire, but still, I don't know if he got hurt. And maybe I need to see the replay again, but I'm not honestly sure if he was hurt all the way in that. Or this was just an angle in general, but we'll find out. But the minute I knew MJF was not in the skybox and it was ref stoppage, I'm like, yeah, he's going to come out and do something. I didn't think he was going to cash in his his little chip thing. But yeah, he just basically came out, faked the cash in, and yeah, now I'm going to face you at full gear for the world title, okay? So yeah. So that's AEW for this Title Night Tuesday thing. So overall, the show wasn't that bad. Like I said, the main event, was what it was. They really tried to build as much into this, and stuff. So it just kind of went the way it did. And, MJF, like I said, the best thing on here was the MJF and William Regal promo, I thought. That was literally the best thing. Castle and Jericho had a pretty good match out there, too. Yeah, that's all I can really say much out of this show. I didn't care much for the 6-man belts. Tony Storm and Sheeta, like I said, both were very good, but I was kind of in and out of that match anyways. I knew Tony Storm was going to win. But then again, listen, AEW and NXT, I see it pull out all the stops they could tonight for this, since they've been going head-to-head tonight at the same time. So they pulled out all the stops they could for tonight. But Rampage is supposed to be live this Friday, so we'll see what goes on from there. But other than that, this is my review for AEW Dynamite. I'm going to go check out NXT, and I'll be back with a review later on for that. So if I am back later on tonight for that review. So I'm out here. See you guys then. Peace.